Good day everyone, I'm Jonathan Songa and I will be discussing about legal liability. So what is legal liability? Is an act in violation of the public criminal law punishable by fine or imprisonment or even death. So legal liability. A criminal act could be considered either a felony or a misdemeanor depending on the gravity of the offense. Pag sinabi natin felony, crime against person and property of a serious nature. And yung misdemeanor naman, an offense of a less serious nature. And this section intends to focus more on the study of concepts concerning felony. So we'll be talking about felonies. Are acts punishable by law and they may be committed not only by means of deceit but also by means of fault. A crime may be committed by a person alone or it may involve others who conspired by him. So yung krimen daw, pwedeng isang tao lang or pwedeng may kasabwat. So, there is a deceit if the act is performed by means of deliberate intent. Ano nga ba yung deliberate intent? A false statement made with deliberate intent to deceive on intentional untruth. Alright. So next, in felonies, a person who lacks intelligence or rationality is incapable of distinguishing good or bad and right and wrong. And any person who is unable to make distinction between right or wrong and good or bad cannot be made legally and morally liable for this act. So sinasabi dito na yung mga taong kulang sa talino o kaya yung mga hindi masyado nakakapag-think logically, sila yung nahihirapan sa pag-distinguish kung ano yung mabuti sa masama. Kumbaga, nahihirapan silang kilatisin yung good and bad, and those people na nahihirapan sa pag-alam or kilatisin yung good or bad and right or wrong, hindi sila pwedeng maging liable or responsible legally and morally sa act nila. Bakit hindi sila pwedeng maging liable? Dahil nahihirapan sila sa pag-distinguish kung ano yung tama sa mali. Kumbaga, sa case nila, may possibility na may tama, pwede may maging mali, or yung mali, pwede maging tama. Example dito, yung mga taong hindi tama yung pag-iisip. So, under the law, a person is imbecile or insane unless he has acted during a lucid interval, and yung mga person under 9 years of age, or a person over 9 years of age, of 15 unless he has acted with discernment is exempted from any criminal liability. So, gaya nga nung sinabi ko kanina sa last slide, yung mga taong may problema sa utak. Pag sinabi kasi yung lucid interval na sinasabi is regaining consciousness after ilang minutes nilang naging unconscious. Say, for example, napupok ka. Tapos nawalan ka ng malay, pagising mo, masakit pa yung ulo mo, kaya medyo hindi ka pa nakakapag-isip ng maayos. Hindi ka pa nahihimasmasan. Sila yung exempted sa criminal liability. So, bakit sila exempted sa criminal liability? Pwedeng maaaring dahil nga wala sila sa matinong kaisipan kung bakit sila nakagawa ng mali. So, next we have a person who acts under the compulsion of an irresistible force, who acts under the impulse of an uncontrollable fear of an equal or greater injury could not be said to act or to have acted with deliberate intent. Hence, he could not be made liable for any wrongful act that proceeds from such lack of freedom, because without compulsion, he could have acted otherwise. So, dito naman sinasabi nakabilang sa exempted sa criminal liability yung mga nag-act under irresistible force tulad ng self-defense. For example na lang dito pag pinasukan yung bahay nyo. Umabot kayo sa point na nanganganib na talaga yung buhay nyo, syempre takot kayo and magulo yung isip nyo and mamimental block kayo. Kaya gagawa kayo ng pagpatay or any self-defense para magpagtanggol yung sarili nyo. You're exempted from criminal liability kasi kung hindi ka natakot ng sobra, makapag-isip ka sana ng maayos at iba sana ang behavior na pinakita mo. hindi ka sana nakapatay or kung hindi lang dahil sa irresistible force or fear. Now we have criminal liability. Pag sinabi natin criminal liability, also incurred by any person committing felony, although the wrongful act done is different from that which is he intended. If the intention of the act is noble, if it has resulted to the injury or harm of others, the act is still considered wrongful and the doer of the act criminally liable. So, any wrong act, whether natuloy yung balak mo or hindi, whether yung intention mo is mabuti, kapag nakasakit ka, considered as wrong pa rin yan, and the doer is criminally liable along with yung mga kasama niya dun sa krimen or yung mga kasabwat. So now we'll be talking about the classes of felonies. There are 3 classes of felonies. The first one is the consummated, second one is frustrated, and the last one is the attempted. So consummated, when all elements necessary for its execution and accomplishment are present. So, napatunayan yung isang crime kapag kompleto sa ebidensya at kung napatunayan na siya talaga yung may sala. And for frustrated, when the offender performs all the act of execution which as a consequence would have resulted in felony. So frustrated, if you tried to kill someone but the victim survived, it affected the victim that caused frustrated to the felony. So for the last one, we have attempted. When the offender does not perform all the acts of execution which should produce the felony by reason of some causes or accident other than his own spontaneous resistance. So, sa attempted naman, hindi siya yung mismong gumawa ng act sa mismong scene, pero siya yung nagplano and he tried to kill someone, pero he failed. Yun yung attempted. So, now we'll be talking about the classifications of criminal liability. So, the first one, we have the principals. Principals of a crime are persons who take part directly in carrying out the wrongful act or those who directly compel. So, sila yung, in short, sila yung pasimuno or sila yung mastermind ng isang krimen. The next one is accomplices, also known as accessories before the act, are those persons who, not being principals by direct participation, inducement, or cooperation. So, yung accomplices, sila yung mga kasabwat. And for the last one, we have accessories, also known as accessories before the act, are those who have no knowledge of commission of the crime. So, accessories, sila yung mga tao behind the crime na walang knowledge but they were the one na nagsisira nung ebidensya. So, accessories parang mga on the spot lang nung nakausap na nabayaran. For example, yung mga nag-handle ng CCTV footage, may utusan yung principal, which is yung mastermind, na isang accomplices, na isang kasabwat para pumunta sa security area at bayaran yung tao doon para magbura ng CCTV footage na magsisilbing ebidensya na pwedeng ikapahamak nila. Inalok siya ng pera, yung accessories, na ginawa niya. Yun yung tinatawag na accessories. So, yung accessories, by profiting themselves, pinabayaran, by concealing or destroying the body of the crime, by harboring, concealing, or assisting in the escape of the principal of the crime, murder, or an attempt to take the life of the chief executive or is known to be habitually guilty of some other crime. And that would be all for my report. Thank you. The next reporter will continue the discussion.